Hi Mike, the following clip shows you how I set up my note label style that will label any object in Civil 3D or AutoCAD that you need to label the northing, easting, and elevation on. Remember, this is only my method. I don't know if it's the preferred method or not, but this is how I do it. Starting with the prospector, the settings tab. Right click on the drawing, edit drawings settings. Let's make this a 50 scale, and we are on the right coordinate system. So apply, OK. Under the general group, label styles group, and then the note group is where you create the actual label. Left click note, right click, go to new. This is the standard composer that we find for most all of the label styles that we have in Civil 3D. The information tab is where you name it. Name your style. NEZ label. And then this is automatically filled in. You can put a description here, anything you need. It's just straightforward text. This will not show up in your label. Under the General tab, set your text that your company uses. We'll do Romans. Layer visibility obviously needs to be on, because if it's off you won't see it. I put my labels on a general layer called Site Text. That at the present, all my label styles, my note label styles, go to Site Text. You can break it up any way you want. The list of labels show up here. Cancel out of that. I use a view orientation so that my label style will remain parallel to the bottom of the screen. And I use 90 degrees as my text flip for the readability. That's the General tab. The Layout tab is where you create your actual label. This note with the border on it is a standard note style that comes in the AutoCAD when you install it. We don't want that. We want to kill it with the big X. Goodbye. This drop-down arrow shows you what objects you can use to create the label style. You can use them all or just one. We're going with just text to keep it simple. But I do recommend you experiment with all of these. So the component name is text.1 as by default. Let's change it to NEZ LABEL. Visibility is on, it's true. The feature anchor point, or the anchor point, will be the feature. And the anchor component will be the feature. The anchor point on that feature will be the bottom center. Let's make it the middle right. The Contents tab under the text grouping is the place where you create your actual label content. At the moment, our label content are those two words, label text. We'll get rid of that and put our own label in here. But we will get back to that in a minute. We want to set our text height for our label here. I'm going to set it 0.08. I don't have a rotation. You do end up playing with that on some drawings, but that is something that you'll just have to figure out. The attachment for the text will be the left, middle left. Let me get back to the middle. Okay. No offset. Color is by layer. Line weight is also by layer. This gives you the opportunity to manage these with the layer state in your label tools. And this creates the border. You saw the border around the words label before. I keep it off. I haven't found a use for it yet. Now, the content. This is the content of your label is created right here. So this is the content currently. We don't want that, so we'll just highlight that and hit the delete key. Then we'll go over to the Format tab and format our label style. You have a chance here to change the text from the default that we set. So we'll leave it as Roman S. The justification for the entire label will be the left side. We'll leave the font as Roman S. This has to be set, even though we set it before under the under the text group. It has to be set here also. You can get away with not setting it here, but it has to be set here for layer control. So anything we create that shows up in this black box, which will be the contents of our label, will have the formatting options chosen on this side. To the Properties tab. This is a list of settings that you can label. We're going to start with obviously start with the northing. Our units are going to be feet. Our precision is 4 decimal places. Rounding is normal. Your options are up and truncate, round up or truncate. Our decimal characters period. I don't know what you would make it, but I guess in Europe they use a comma, but not here. Our digital grouping is a comma. Our digital group, I always set to 3 comma, 3 comma, 3 comma. And that's it. That will be our northing label. So click in the right box and type N period equals. Now all this information will be sent to this side after the equal sign by clicking that right arrow. Then click here, hit enter, chase down the easting. We find it here, conveniently. 4 decimal places, and so on and so on and so on. The only thing I change here is the grouping. So at the cursor we want E period equals. And take this information and send it to the label. Now Z period equals. Track down point elevation. The precision here I change to 3 decimal places. A little arrogant to think that you're that accurate, but the more numbers people see, the better they think you are. The grouping, just in case you're working in the Rockies, is the same. Therefore, all of this is being sent to the cursor. And that is your label style. You can add anything you want to that with general text. If you want this to be let's say a GPS point, if you wanted to denote that as being a GPS point, you could have GPS located or adjusted values. Or better yet, let everybody know that Mid-Atlantic located it. And that's the entire content. That's what will show up when you label, when you use this label. So hit OK. That's how it should appear. That's how it should appear in your Civil 3D drawing. The drag state, that's the static view. The drag state view, I always change my arrowhead text size to 0.08 when I remember to change it. The text is also the same as the static label. And you can see again, the color, line type, and line weight are by layer. So apply, and then OK. And look at that, magic, showed right up. In order to use that as a label, you go to the price tag, just like going shopping. You can use the drop down also and find notes. But let's go to the note, or the price tag, I'm sorry. Note is the feature. Note is the label type. And this is the label style. So we're going to look for the note style that we create, the note label style that we created, which, oh, I had it. It's slippery. NEZ label. The marker style, let's set it as a spot elevation marker. It can be set for anything, and you can create them somewhere over here. I forget where they are. Marker styles under multi-purpose. So we're going to have our label style that was created. with the spot elevation marker at the point. Click Add. Yeah, go to the endpoint, 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 say goodbye. Oh. Screwed that up, didn't I? Delete. Drag them out, drag them out. It's that simple, Mike. If you have any questions, give me a call. I'll save this drawing. I've done it in 2018. Let me save this as a 13 drawing. I'll send it to you so you can pick it apart. So good luck, and I'll talk to you later.